Hey, everybody. Original OC with you here on the Original OC channel. Tuesday, the last day of April, April 30th, 2024. What is going on? Hope everyone is doing well. We're on the Underground channel, the Original OC channel. No one watches this. No one watches. This is the secret underground dark web channel of YouTube. So if you're here, you are special. Let's see who these special ones are today. Let's see. We have Thomas Burnett. Hey, what's up, Thomas Burnett? Hypnotize Me. I love people really, really love the song. I have to give a huge shout out to Mookie for making that song famous. Thank you, Mookie. And I want to thank Vimal Nair for being with us. Hypnotize me. You hypnotize me. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Kyle D in the chat. And I'm hypnotized. I see the theme. I see the theme. We have BW in the chat from beautiful Florida. Greetings. What's up, BW? Hey, we have Eddie Mao. I'm going to see Eddie Mao tomorrow, I think. Right? I think. Eddie? I think so. We have a posse that we're doing a group thing tomorrow in New York. In New York. He says, and the award for best intro music on any Watch YouTube channel goes to, and I'm assuming he means this channel. I'm hypnotized and brainwashed and manipulated. Such nonsense. Such nonsense. BWOC. And we have D Wood in the chat. That's it. That's all 5 people watching. All 5 people have been accounted for. D Wood says, I'm proud to be one of the 4. Yeah, that's right. It's up to 5 now, including me, because I'm logged in and I have to monitor the chat. Although we have the best moderators. We have the best moderators, guys. Nothing and 0 trolls. We have the best moderators and 0 trolls on the original OC channel. I'm proud to be here among one of 4. Yeah, it's 5 now. 5 because I'm logged in. But thank you, D Wood. And we have Sony Man 2112. Is this a reference to the Rush album 2112, or is this a reference to something else? Let me know in the chat. Sony Man 2112 says, "Hey AOC, first time here." Well, if you're the first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. You have to hit that. You have to go click on the original OC thing, go to the channel, hit subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon that says notifications and hit all. Select all. Don't select personalized or don't select none. The whole point of notifications is all. Just do that, and anytime I go live, you'll get an email. I think that's how it works. Some kind of notification, right? D Wood, yeah, we're up to 6. We're crushing it. We are crushing it. How is it that we only have 6 viewers, but we have 6 upvotes? Man, you guys are loyal. You guys are the best. Loyal. And by the way, the loyalty is the subject of today's show. Loyalty. What does it mean to be loyal? What does it mean to have honor? What does it mean to have the respect of your ADs? Kyle D says, "Hey, you've got more subs than I do. 5 viewers or not. How is that possible? How is it possible that I only have like 60 subs? I don't have very many subs at all." Kyle D says, "Rush equals Canadian." Yes. One of the top 5 Canadian acts of all time, in my humble opinion. Right behind Celine Dion, Bryan Adams, and Corey Hart. And Justin Bieber. So many. Actually, type in your favorite Canadian artist in the chat. For all 6 people watching, you've got to have a favorite Canadian artist. I just rattled off 5. Like, I do like, I'll say Justin Bieber, Rush, Celine Dion. Corey Hart isn't my favorite, but he's very famous for that song, Sunglasses at Night. Who else is from Canada, guys? Shout out your favorite Canadian artist in the chat. Kyle D says LFG. That's an acronym for Let's Effing Go. Sure, let's effing go. Let's do it. Oh shit, we're up to 10 viewers. Amazing. Not bad for a dog shit channel live stream like this. Not bad at all. Yes, it is. It is a reference to Rush, and I have subed. Thank you for subing, Sony Man 2112. I appreciate it. I like it. Listen, if you're watching this, I want everybody to sub to the channel and drop a note, just confirming that you've subed and that you've subed and that you have turned on notifications. And while you're at it, might as well like the stream. you might as well like the stream and tap the all button. That's right. Tap the all button on notifications. Enough administrative nonsense. Let's get on to the show. Let's get some questions going here. Let's see. Thoughts on the Guess Who and BTO. Do you even know who BTO is, guys? Yeah, it's Bachman Turner Overdrive. Are both of those Canadian? I can't name a song by Guess Who or Bachman Turner Overdrive off the top of my head. I know that I know them. I just don't know the names of them. I'm sure that Guess Who has had like several giant monster hits. I just don't. They just don't come to mind. I just don't remember them. So maybe you should type that. If you could type the name in the chat, that'd be super helpful. I know Bachman Turner Overdrive. Like when I was a kid, there would be like commercials for like Columbia Records or whatever. Like you buy those, like you could buy 12 albums for 1 penny. In Bachman Turner, they were famous on commercials and on the radio. Bachman Turner Overdrive, but I don't know any songs. Sorry. Eddie Mouse says Drake. That's right. Drake is massive, and he is Canadian. And BW says Neil Young. That's right, Neil Young. I haven't seen Neil Young live. Is he still going, or did he retire? Did he do a farewell tour? Oh man, there are a couple of big Neil Young songs that I really, really like. What's that really, really famous one? The iconic, like anthemic song, "Rockin' in the Free World." Is that what it is? Keep on rocking in the free world. Yeah, I love that one. It's a nice long song. It really sucks you in. Love the Neil Young. Diego M is in the chat. What is up, Diego? Hope you're doing well. Canada's greatest act was joining World War II for the sole purpose of pillaging fine arts after the Americans took care of business. I didn't want to know that. I did not want to know that. But thank you for that factoid. Hey, we have Seb Nelly in the chat. Cool. I like it when Seb Nelly's here. Kyle D says Bachman Turner Overdrive. Guess who? Neil Young, all from Winnipeg. This show is very educational. I bet you didn't know you would learn so much listening to this little tiny stream. But here you go. Hey, look at this. CrimePece is here. The CrimePece, famous YouTuber, and he's also on social media. Shout out to the CrimePece. He's also on he's on Reddit. I haven't seen a video from CrimePece in a long time. Are you still doing videos, my friend? Or maybe just things have died down and you're not. Maybe the news is slow. Let me know. What's good, OC? Going to catch the replay later, but wanted to say hello. Have a good stream, guys. Hey, thank you very much, CrimePece. Appreciate it. CrimePece has my information. If you ever want to talk or collab or do anything, just let me know. Let me know. Seems like a good dude. Let's see who else we have here. It's the OC approach that I always say hi to every single person in the chat. That's just the way I like to roll. And everybody deserves a personal greeting from OC. If you've taken your time to listen to this nonsense, then the least I can do is show you that I appreciate you. And I appreciate Christopher Negroni. You mean Aubrey Drake Graham. Is that his real name? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Look at this. We've got Ryan Singer here. The fantastic Ryan Singer. Ryan Singer, one of my good guy in New York City. And Ryan, I'm not sure if you're going to be there tomorrow. Oh, you're not? Shit. Ryan is not even in the United States. Ryan is he's technically in the United States, but he's not in the continental United States. He's back. He's back soon. Let's catch up when you're back later this week. Lunch on me or dinner on me, Thursday night, something like that. Let's do it. Reach out. I have a very busy May and June, but I want to meet as many people as possible, catch up with as many people as possible. I'm meeting Lucha Betic Mark. I'm meeting Double D. I'm meeting Mr. G, Sean. I'm meeting a whole bunch of people. I'm meeting Hoff, Just a whole bunch of cool meetups coming up soon. Vimal Nair says, didn't Canada partake in the war before Pearl Harbor? You know what, guys? I'm not going to talk about wars on this channel. If you guys want to talk about them, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat, man. H is here. What's up, everyone? What's up, H? What the heck is that monstrosity in your avatar? What the heck is that thing? Tim Jacks, any news if you're visiting London? How do I dance around this subject? Time will tell. Time will. I may be in London. I may be in London soon, but I can't. I'm not allowed to announce anything right now. So let's just. It's tough. You caught me with a very pointed question. A very pointed question. But Tim Jacks, if you're going to be in London, type yes in the chat. And that's all I'm going to say on the subject. Dang, I gave it away. Bob Dylan came to Winnipeg to play a show. Kyle D comment here. Bob Dylan came to Winnipeg to play a show and randomly showed up to Niles' childhood home on Grosvenor. How do you pronounce that? Grosvenor? I think you pronounce it Grosvenor. Yeah, there's no S. It's Grosvenor. Okay. Childhood home on Grosvenor Avenue and asked the homeowner for a tour. Showed up to Niles' childhood home? Who's Niles? You lost me a little bit. You lost me just a little bit. It's right. Ryan is in Guam, the U.S. colony of Guam. I think that's where he is. Tim Jack says, I'm there. All right. There you go. London, June 2024. Be there or be square. I'm not saying OC will be there, but you never know. Never know. Neil. Okay, got it. Yeah, you guys need to learn how to type. Just be more careful. Be more careful. Okay, so he went to Neil's childhood home and wanted a tour. Okay, that's cool. All right. We are caught up on the chat. You guys are amazing. I wanted to talk a little bit about, dealing with your Rolex AD or dealing with your APA deal. And what's your concept of loyalty with them? I mean, I know it's kind of a transactional relationship. I know it's one person has slightly more leverage than the other person, but at the end of the day, you can vote with your pocketbooks to not buy anything or to go somewhere else. But do you have an example of a story where you felt your AD wasn't loyal to you? Did they do something that really pissed you off? Did they do something where you felt like they didn't appreciate your business or what you felt was a relationship that you had with them? Let me know in the chat. Or even better yet, I'll drop the link, which is pinned, by the way. And for those of you who are too lazy to actually scroll up to click on the link that's pinned, you can click on this link. It's simple. It's called StreamYard.com. You click on it, you turn on your camera, you check your microphone, and boom, you're in the show. Then you can be a YouTube celebrity, just like me. Solvents says, good evening from Scotland. Wow. Solvents, are you going to Time London in June? Are you going to make the trek to London? Let me know in the chat. Just let me know. Tim Jacks says, third lady's datejust purchased in a year today. Holy crap. Still no hype piece from my list. Jeez, I don't know if I would do that. Man, what are you doing with these datejusts? Are you selling them at a loss? Are you keeping them? I mean, who needs 3 ladies' datejusts purchased all within a year. I would say that you are well overdue for 2 fantastic sports pieces. That's my humble opinion, and, they shouldn't be slow rolling you on the sports piece. That's bullshit. Tim Jacks, what are the pieces that you want? Just let us know in the chat, like, what are the, 1 or 2 references that you've requested, that you have been denied for no apparent reason, no fair and just reason at all? Hmm. That's disappointing. By the way, one of the most important comments here in the chat, it's one of the most truthful, by the way. Kyle D, this stream is amazing. True. Very accurate. Thank you, Kyle D. I love accuracy when it comes to comments in the chat, and this is one of them. Family members' gifts. You bought 3 ladies' datejust as gifts. Wow, you're generous. They didn't reimburse you at all. These were gifts. Holy crap. You should have 2 sports pieces by now, and I'm talking nice ones, really nice ones. Oh, you had 1 sports piece already. Okay, cool. And then you said you want the Pepsi, the Celebration Dial, or the Sky Dweller. Okay, these are reasonable requests, in my opinion. So I hope you get everything that you want. I really do. That's right. After buying 3 ladies' datejusts, what you should get is a Rainbow Daytona and a Le Mans. The nerve of these 80s. How dare these 80s not reciprocate loyalty? Speaking of almost world, Diego.
What's up? How's my audio right now?
It's good, and we can hear the treadmill in the background. A little bit, not too much, but just a little bit.
Okay.
It's fine.
Perfect. Let me know if I got the burps or if I got the helium voice, because that seems
no
to
helium
happen.
voice and no burps. It's all good.
Wonderful.
Thank you for taking time out of your
busy
daily,
day.
your busy day, your important physical workout to contribute your thoughts to today's live stream.
Yeah, I'm going to be gone till probably be indisposed until Sunday, so I'm just getting it out of my system. I'm hitting all the streams today. So
it's hitting all the streams. So are you going on a quick vacation? Are you traveling to a different city, or what's going on?
We got a client that once a year takes a bunch of people fishing. So all expense paid trip.
Wow, that's called a junket.
A junket? Never heard of that before.
Yeah, but junket, that's like that's when clients buy inappropriate influence with a supplier, and those suppliers give the client preferential treatment, sometimes illegal treatment, in exchange for.
I don't know anything about nothing like that.
In exchange for accepting gifts and other things of monetary value.
Do I have to report this on my taxes?
I'm gonna remain silent on this. We're gonna have to scrub this, move this to private, move it to members only.
Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase. A dear friend who happens to be dear friends with a bunch of my coworkers,
and happens to have a tight business relationship with our company.
No, that's just a coincidence. I mean, what? Friends can't. Yeah. Cut the stream.
That's right. Turn it off.
So yeah, but no, I'm excited. I need some time off, so this will be good. It'll be fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to. I'm excited to come home, and it's 6:30 outside, but it's 6:30 right now. But the sun is still out. It's still warm outside. You know, the days are getting longer. The days are going to continue to get longer until June 20th or whatever, and then we're going to have these long, warm summer days. I'm not going to be spending time streaming. Sorry, guys, that ain't going to be happening. I'm not hopping on streams at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna be enjoying the sun until 7:30 at night, barbecuing, hanging out on the deck, swimming in the pool.
You know what I'm excited for?
Yeah, tell me.
Sorry to get a little deep here, but last summer I was obviously very depressed. I only went to the pool like once last summer, so I'm excited to get back out there, show the world what they were missing.
Show the world Diego's physique by the pool.
No, just like I completely missed last year's pool season, and it's a good time. You sunbathe, listen to audiobooks, have a good time.
Yep.
So I'm excited to do that this year.
So am I. We opened the Casa de OC opens the pool on May 9th. So that's it.
You should call it OC Playa.
Playa, yeah.
Playa OC. Yeah.
That means OC Beach.
Exactly.
I don't have any sand in my backyard, but I do have a nice yard. I have a nice pool, a beautiful deck, and I have the landscapers coming to clean everything up. We have who else do we have? Like the gardeners are coming every week now. Everything's good, man. Everything's good. And
nice.
Yep.
Playa OC sounds like an exclusive club in Miami.
I've always wanted to do a 4th of July celebration here, so I might plan a 4th of July for the New York peeps. The problem is that it's far away for people like Buckley, and people are on Long Island or Queens or whatever. Or even people are in Jersey. It's hard to they don't want to drive. They don't want to come spend the 30 minutes out of their day to drive somewhere. People are they have their own lives. They're doing their own thing.
Just do it at your penthouse on 432. Shoot some fireworks off the balcony.
Let's do it.
It'll be good.
Speaking of cool people that I may or may not see one day, Muhammad Ali's in the chat. Most of the streams are after the sun sets here in the UK. So I will enjoy the summer evenings here and then have the streams to look forward to as I head to bed. There you go. So they get to enjoy all the summer days and then they have streams at night. But the problem is the streams start really late. So sometimes they have to be up until 1, 2, 3 in the morning.
The other problem is there really summer in England?
Yeah, that's right. There's no such thing as summer. It's gray, gloomy, and miserable.
Yeah. Go outside.
Logan Hall.
It's like skim milk. Hey, Logan.
Logan is here. Logan is he's about to go on a relaxing venture somewhere. So I tip my hat to you, Logan. Hope you have an amazing time. Enjoy relaxing. Enjoy your vacation, if you want to call it that.
Have a great time, Logan.
Have a good time, Logan. Logan's mentally prepared for this. He is. He's really. I think he's ready. He's ready for all the stuff that's going to happen. Wine and good times, good conversation. So.
By the way, speaking of, I'm anticipating they're going to smoke a cigar. Remember we talked the other day about how a cigar just kind of ruins your next day.
Well, for you, but for Buckley and others, they're like, no, it doesn't. But for me and for you and me, yeah.
It happened. I had a cigar, I think maybe Sunday evening. Monday I was dragging. I don't get headaches, OC. It just doesn't happen. I had a headache on Monday.
Really?
What? Yeah. Just drank a bunch of water. It went away naturally.
I'm similar. I never get any headaches at all. It's extremely rare that I get a headache.
Yeah.
Whereas Mrs. OC, she's had migraines for maybe a decade or longer. So she's very, very difficult. So she's on all kinds of stuff. Botox injected right into her head and stuff like that. It's crazy. So
straight into the brain.
Yeah, they drilled holes in the scalp, in the skull. They can have direct access to the brain. Let's see. Yeah, good luck to Tim Jax, who bought 3 Lady Datejusts and is deserving of a Sky Dweller, a Celebration Dial, and a Pepsi. We're rooting for you,
Oh,
Tim Jacks.
did that really happen?
Yeah, he bought three Ladies Datejusts as gifts for family members, and he's still waiting for his next sports piece.
Oh man! Moment of silence for Tim Jacks.
Yep. And plus, on top of that, they only get 4 great days a year for summer.
Yeah. Jeez.
Man, oh man. Did I say hi to Otto? What's up, Otto? Evening, gents. Just tuning in. Well, welcome, Otto. Good to have you. Otto, formerly known as OC91. So as you can see by his avatar. So just if you're confused, like, hey, who's this Otto guy? It's the guy formerly known as OC91. Cigars, Logan says, don't affect me like that. I've built up a tolerance to them. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
I just
expecting
had
a lot
a
of
bad
good
one.
pictures. Yeah, bad cigar.
Yeah. Who knows? Oh, Jesus.
All right, good
So
show. That was it.
What's
That's
the topic for tonight?
the topic for today was: have you ever been in a situation where you felt you were loyal to a brand or to an AD, and you were disrespected, or you felt like your loyalty wasn't reciprocated? That's where Tim Jack's story about buying those 3 Datejusts and not getting a new sports piece came into play. There, he's answering that question.
I mean, yeah, you know the story with mine. We don't have to rehash it, but I try to position myself to where I'm not. I don't buy things with the expectation of a reward for my ADs, and that would include jewelry. That would include non-Rolex or Patek. Like if I'm going to go to my AD and buy a Cartier or a Tudor or a Zenith or a Breitling, I really got to like the watch. Now I will say I am willing to pay the AD premium for certain watches because of the relationship. But no, like I can't speak for myself to where I bought a bunch of jewelry or watches for the wife and it wasn't reciprocated.
Good.
I just never put myself in that position. And actually, recently we met with another client. I'm helping him get a root beer, and we were kind of having a lunch before. He was kind of pre-gaming. I was prepping him, and he's like, "So I want to make sure they know I want to buy my wife watches and jewelry." And I was like, "No, do not say that." He's like, "Really? Like, won't that help me get a watch?" And I was like, "I've never had to do that. My friends have never had to do that." I was like, "The second that you open up that door, the relationship is changed. Like, don't put yourself in that position." So,
well, what you're saying is if you let the cat out of the bag that you're willing to buy things, then you will be offered those things first.
exactly.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, I'd like to buy my wife a Datejust, and eventually I'd like a Speedmaster, but I really want the root beer first." And I was like, "Well, if you really want the root beer, you just ask for the root beer, and if it doesn't happen, buy it gray." Like they're not going that much over retail.
Well, it's interesting that you say that because that's not very loyal to the AD, is it?
Say that sentence one more time. Cut out.
I mean, if we're talking about loyalty, like loyalty is a two-way street, right? Wouldn't in that case you would use the AD just to get the good piece and then go gray for the other pieces?
No, not go gray for the other pieces. What I meant was you have to start the relationship on a good foot for yourself first.
Yes.
Like
yes.
you don't go to an AD and start a relationship and then expose your weaknesses that you will buy things other than Rolex. You're willing to buy two-tone Datejusts for yourself or your wife. You're willing to buy jewelry. If you go to this AD and you introduce yourself and they say, okay, this is a good guy. We're going to sell him a root beer. Then it's on you to decide, do I reciprocate that gesture? Do I buy my datejust for my wife here, even though I'm spending 2,000-3,000 more? Yeah, it's not the worst thing you could do because, there might be a watch that comes out next year that you like and that purchase history helps you. But to me, the loyalty, we have to remember these are salespeople. Their job is to sell, their job is to make money. They have product and stock that is difficult to move. They are rewarded for moving said product. And I'm not saying they'll do anything and everything they can to move those pieces, but when they see an avenue to do so, they'll use it against you, right? Like, oh, the root beer, yeah, very hard as your first watch. Oh, well, let me get a date just for the wife. Like that's what they're going for.
Yep.
So you just
And it's not sinister intent. What their job is to sell and that to align your perceived their perceived needs of you, like your needs, with the product that they have. So in their mind, it's totally justified and rational for them to say, "Oh, you've expressed that you want this, and this. The
Here you
most
go.
expeditious way. That's right. There you go. And this is
You're
the way
yeah.
we're gonna.
You're the
And there's
one. You're the one that
that's
said
right.
you wanted to buy your wife a date just. So what does it matter if it's now or after the root beer, right?
That's
Exactly.
right. That's
You
right.
can't blame them. So that's why I say don't even open that door. Don't even mention the wife. He mentioned, should I tell her like I want to be like a one Rolex a year guy? And like I was like, no, just don't even like I was like, dude, listen, we're gonna go there, we're gonna introduce you, you're gonna be cool. She's gonna see that you're a because he was like, I really want a Daytona and I'd really like a Pepsi after. I'm like, don't utter the word Daytona. We're on a mission for a root beer. What happens after the root beer happens.
Right.
So, do you feel loyal? You certainly feel loyalty towards
Oh
your
yeah,
ads, right?
I sure do. Yeah, I've felt like, well, actually, think about it. I have two. So one, you could argue that that I'm not loyal to either because I've split my sales between two ads.
Sure.
So I mean, like for example, one of them would like to sell me, a $60,000 day date, but the other one got to,
Yeah.
like, hey, how come you didn't buy that one from us? After all, we're the one who got you the root beer or whatever, and the other one, so I can understand how they may see that as disloyal. So
Well,
listen,
here's the thing.
I'm not perfect,
Yeah, that's a great topic. So, one of my ads, I mean, I got a Submariner, an Explorer 1, and a Batman so far. The other AD is where I got the Patek and I got the Panda and all that good stuff, right?
mm-hmm.
I'm not afraid to wear the Patek or the Panda to this other AD or the White Gold Daytona. And when she sees those, like when she first saw the Patek, she's like, what in the world? Where'd you get this? I'm like, where do you think? And she's like, wow, you must have spent a lot of money there. And I was like, not
Exactly.
really. I said, not really. She's like, seriously? And I'm like, nope, sure haven't. And it's kind of like a way of me saying, like, there are other people out there that will take care of you. And it's the shitty thing is it's not the sales associate's choice on what watches we get in reality. But if I had to have loyalty to one of my ADs, it probably would be the Patek AD. So when we bought our wedding bands, we bought them from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could we
Right.
have gotten them cheaper somewhere else? Sure. But I mean, come on. They gave me that and they gave me a Panda. Like, they've earned my business. But I'm not going to go there and buy a tutor just to buy a tutor. Like, I have to really like the tutor. I guess I do have loyalty, but it's controlled loyalty.
Qualified loyalty, not blind loyalty.
Sure, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Speaking
like
of,
in all sincerity, let's just say, I think both brands, okay, the Patek 80 no longer has Omega, but let's just say they did, and Omega came out with a watch I really liked. I would go to the Patek 80, and that's where I would buy my Omega, not the other 80.
Mm-hmm.
So there is loyalty. Yeah.
In our minds, we're trying to be as loyal as possible. You know, we got to, but we
Yes.
have to get offered the watches that we want.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Hey, speaking of loyalty, we got Mr. G in the chat who reminds us all to like the stream, upvote. By the way, there are 20 people watching and 20 upvotes. So that's pretty dang good. Pretty dang good.
I think loyalty extends beyond what you buy, though. Loyalty is, what's the word? Loyalty goes beyond your purchase history. It's, are you keeping the watches? Are you referring new customers? Are you cordial when you visit? Or are you just a shark that goes in and says, where's my watch, right?
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, you have to be, does it extend beyond the transaction? Do they care about you and do you care about them? You know, those are important points.
Yep.
You know, the key question is like, how loyal are you to your SA? If your SA quits working there and they end up working 2 hours away at a different AD, are you do you abandon your purchase history and go to work, go follow your SA somewhere new? I mean, is your loyalty to the SA or your loyalty to the dealer? Tough question. Think about it. It's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. H is in the chat. He says you need to find someone with whom you can work. Most people go in just asking for a GMT Master 2 or Submariner. They don't try to set a background on explain why they want the watch, etc. You need to differentiate yourself. Yes, you do. You can't just come in saying, you know, with your expectations. You have to sell why the watch should go to you and not somebody else. It's a competition. Definitely.
Yeah.
And they want to see life.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, they want to see potential. They want to see lifetime customer value. They want to see loyalty. They want to see someone who's not going to flip the watch. They want to see someone who's local. They want to see someone who will not burn them. There's a lot of things that they look for. Sometimes they get it right. I think most of the time they try to, and sometimes they get it wrong. But there you go.
Well, when we introduced this guy the other week, there was zero conversation about why he wants a root beer, how amazing the root beer is, why he needs a GMT. None of that shit. It was, we'll just pick a name. This is Steve Womack. Steve's the man. We've been doing business together for 10 years. Like, this is my guy. And then the response is, well, if you say that, okay, like, pleasure to meet you, Steve, kind of shit. I think if you go in there, and I can't remember who said that, Mr. H, yeah, you can't just go in and be like, oh, I would like a GMT Batman, please. It's like, okay. It's like calling a difficult to get in restaurant and saying, hey, can I have a table for 2 Friday at 8? No, you sure can't, right? You gotta go about it a different way. You gotta know someone like Ryan Singer,
who can get you in anywhere, anytime.
Exactly.
I want to say hi to Luchabetic Time in the chat. He upvoted. Thank you very much. And I also want to say hi to Rose, who reminds us that, to quote a great movie, you love the Red Sox. That's the Boston Red Sox. But have they ever loved you back?
That hurts.
My 80s love me back, and I think that I try to listen. I try to make them look good as well. I mean, I'm organizing a big event at Bucherer on May 30th in New York City. So like they're like, hey, OC, we want to do an event. Do you want to make it a private invite only event for just your friends? I said, geez, sure, why not? They're like, okay, this makes us really look good. I'm like, does it? How? Like just trust us. This is something that makes us look good. Okay, then happy to do it.
Well, and kind of, I don't go to that extent, but like Nathaniel is an example. Nathaniel said, I was like, what are you thinking next on watches? He's like, oh, I'd like a Patek, but who knows, right? I said, how serious are you about getting the Patek? And which one do you want? He said, I want 6119 black. And he said, I'd buy it right now if I could. So my loyalty, if you want to call it that, with not only the AD, but the sales associate is go speak with her, right? I'm going to let her know you're coming. I don't have to give Nathaniel to her. I don't have to tell him to go speak with her. I could just say, go to the Patek dealer, right? And the first person that sees him at the door is going to get the sale.
Yeah.
So am I buying a bunch of watches that I don't want from them? No, but I do actively, well, not actively, but if someone is looking, I'm pointing them in her direction. So, and you know, they know that. They remember that kind of stuff.
They do. They do. D Wood says, does loyalty mean accepting a 6 to 24 month wait for a piece that you want when you could get it more quickly elsewhere? Oh, that's the big trade-off question.
Let me read that.
Yeah, keep in mind that that wait is not the SA's fault necessarily. You know,
Right.
Is it reasonable for you to expect that they bump you over 100 other people who may be bigger spenders or maybe may buy other brands and may buy jewelry or whatever just to appease you? That's a good. I mean, you got to think about it holistically from their perspective. So it's not just about the weight.
It's also risk versus reward. I mean, I would rather wait 6 months and save $20,000, depending on the piece. You know, like as I'll give you a perfect example. I really do like the 38 blue Royal Oak Chrono. All I have to do is go on Chrono 24 and hit buy it now, right? And I could have it. Or I could wait till we get an AP house in Atlanta, which is maybe a year, 2 years down the road, I don't know, and then buy it from them and save a bunch of money.
Right.
So I think it is kind of worth it.
Diego, do you know how many people do that? Meaning that if you sit in an AD and listen to the conversations around you, most are super transactional. That's right. People come in, they say, "Hey, I'd like to buy this," and then they say, "Oh, well, that's very, very hard. Yeah, of course, I'd love to take your information," and you know that goes in the trash. You know, if you come in just off the street, ask for a GMT Master 2. I mean, and that is the overwhelming majority of people who walk into an AD.
Yeah,
it's just
and
no tact whatsoever.
I'll add this though. I say at no fault of their own, because you got to think like everybody watching the stream, everybody that's been on the streams, anybody that's ever gotten a Rolex, there was always that first interaction where you have to go somewhere and say, I would like this. They haven't been exposed to the AD games, the sales associate hierarchy, purchase history. Like these are all things that, unless they spent a long time doing research beforehand, they just don't know. So I've seen that happen a few times. Someone comes in, hey, I'd really like to buy a Submariner. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. We don't have any. Oh, well, there's one right here in the window. Oh, sir, that's exhibitional. And you're listening to it kind of cringing, but if you put yourselves in their shoes, this might be a guy or a girl that, you know, just got their first big bonus, or for whatever reason decided, you know what, I'm going to buy myself a Rolex. It's well deserved. And they don't have anybody telling them like, hey, make sure you go in there in your Rico Suave and you know, just be real cool and like charm the shit out of them. They don't know that. They think you can just go in and ask and receive. So we've all been there. My first interaction with my AD, my Patek AD, was an email saying, hey, I just saw the new releases. I'd really like a 36 Explorer. I really like the Tiffany Blue Oyster Perpetual. And I wouldn't mind, you know, White Gold Daytona. That was my first interaction with them, right? I didn't know the games. I'd never bought from an AD before.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a learning experience.
Yeah, it is. At the same time, the AD has a very hard time distinguishing whether or not someone is genuinely coming in because they just got a promotion or they just landed that new job or whatever, and they're coming in asking for a Submariner, or if it's just the flipper coming in, or someone that wants to buy the Submariner because they read on Forbes or Rob Report that Rolexes are great watches to buy and that they're worth
Right.
more than you paid for them. So of course they walk into the store and go, hey, I'd like to buy one of those Submariners.
Absolutely. And you saying that, all right, so I think the turning point for me in that AD relationship was when my Explorer 1 died. I brought it in to have them send it to RSC, and I was super critical about don't polish it. If that watch hadn't died, I don't think they would have seen, okay, this kid that asked for a bunch of watches, he's had a Rolex for 7 years. And he cares enough that it doesn't get polished because he understands the collectability of doing something like that to a watch. Maybe he is genuine. Maybe he's not a flipper, right? So I really do, like, this is the first time thinking about it. Had that Explorer 1 I had not have broken, that that scenario would have never happened. They would have never, I could have probably just been another one of the 1,000 people that emailed them after the new releases, right? And I wouldn't have stood out. So
yeah, there's a lot of little things that you do, and every little thing paints a picture of your character, and all of those things add up. So
what do you think your pivotal moment was where your ADs no longer saw you as just another schmuck that, asked for a Steel Sports, and that this guy's in it for the long haul?
Tons of them. Everything that I do, whether it's going in and making small talk with every single sales associate, not just my own, and
Right.
or one of the big ones with one of them was getting the King Midas. Believe it or not, when they saw that I had a King Midas, like, oh, this is a legitimate Rolex collector. Perfect.
Sure.
They said that someone who likes that watch loves Rolex, and that to this day, like I'm known as King Midas at Wempe, right? So that's my nickname there.
That's awesome.
Like so there are a lot of things that I do that
every time you say a lot of things that I do, I think of that song. Every little thing I do it for you.
every little thing I just that's NSYNC.
No, it's
it's gonna be May.
No, not that song.
Oh.
Every little thing that you do. I can't think. Anyways, someone in the chat will know the song I'm talking about.
Someone in the chat will help us out. Hello, Boston Collector. Thank you for being with us. Mr. G says, by the way, he's going to buy a Karloff Booker at my event. Cool. If you do, you will be a superstar, and so will I. Actually, we're actually going to have people from executives from Breitling there. So if you want a Breitling, that's a good time to buy one. Get instant credibility. Let's see who else we have here. We have here. Suddenly says producer Michael just sold some watches. You know what? I haven't watched producer Michael in ages. In the beginning I found him interesting, but I just haven't watched him like at least a year. I just have no desire to watch any of his nonsense with the Asian chick at the real estate agent at the pool and showing the houses and all of his nonsense. I just don't care. I don't give a shit what the guy does.
I like him as a person. I think he's a genuine guy.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. I just, I just got the Ferrari wrapped, and I bought this and I bought that. It's just a little bit too much for me. So,
did you see the video? I saw a YouTube short where some guy was like, I think it was the Jacob & Co. guy. He was like, "Is that? Let me see your earring." And he's like, "Oh yeah, here you go." He's like, "This is worth a lot of money." He's like, "Well, yeah, of course. It's a red diamond." He's like, "Do you know how much?" He's like, "I haven't got a clue. I bought it, 20 years ago or some shit." Mm-hmm. He's like, $4 million at least. He's like, "Oh, Jesus." He's like, "I'm never going to wear it again." And the guy's like, "Why not?" He's like, I can't wear this. This is going in the safe. Like, he's like, what did you pay? He's like, a little north of $1 million. So you could see the real reaction where he was almost shocked, but also terrified at the value of his little earring. Like, oh no, like it was fun.
The guy paid $1 million for an earring.
Well, it's a red. It's a. I can't remember the cut of the stone, but it's a red diamond. Super rare, apparently.
He must be really loaded. I thought he would be like 60 million, like when he sold his company. But for him to buy those kinds of watches and splurge on like that kind of jewelry, he must be loaded way more than that. Or he's just way overspending, spending way beyond his means. He's got to be broke, this guy.
Broke. Hey man, YouTube AdSense pays, baby.
Otto says, guys, if you had to pick between a Batgirl, which is the BLNR, and the Sprite Jubilee, got it, the Sprite Jubilee, that's the VTNR. Which do you go with? For context, the Pepsi is looking very slim for now, but these other two may be on the table. Would appreciate the advice. So he wants the Pepsi, but he's thinking, you know what? It's really hard to get the Pepsi now. So this is what they want you to believe, right? Like, hey, the Pepsi's really, really hard. So you go to your next choices. And that's a lot of people, I'm not going to say fall for that, but you have to balance and trade off the compromise. There's a chance you don't get the Pepsi, and you may turn down a Sprite or a Batgirl, and then you'll be stuck. So do you like the Batgirl or the Sprite Jubilee enough for it to make you happy and to be, content with those choices? Diego, your thoughts?
That's so between those two, Batgirl all day. I think, sorry to anybody that has a Sprite, I think it's one of the ugliest Rolexes ever made. Right-hand drive, it looks amazing. I don't know what it is about the left-hand drive. I don't enjoy it. Now, on the comment about the Pepsi, have a really frank conversation with your sales associate and say, look, I really want a Pepsi. Like, I know you're telling me I can get a Sprite and a Batgirl. Thank you so much. Those are amazing watches. I'm willing to wait the time to get the Pepsi. But if that's not a realistic expectation, let me know. I'm an adult. That's fine. In that case, I would take the Batgirl, right? But if you don't have these conversations with your ADs, like, why not have the conversation? When I was waiting for my Patek, I had a lot of people saying, oh, they're fucking with you. Like, you're not getting it. So I sent an email and I said, hey, there's many other watches that I'd like to buy this year. But having said that, if I'm getting the Patek soon, I need to know so that I don't buy those watches and I have the money for the Patek. If I'm not getting the Patek, perfectly fine. If it's a 2 to 3 year wait, no issues. I'll be happy, and in the meantime, I'll buy some other pieces. But if it's coming soon, I got to know. And they told me the answer, right? Had I not done that, I would have been. Don't be in limbo with your ADs. Is the short and sweet of it. Have these adult conversations with them. It's a lot of money, right? This is $15,000 to $30,000. It's okay to have these frank conversations. Do not be in limbo. Don't do it.
Yeah, and I think sometimes, Diego, you and I limit ourselves. We limit our options and limit our horizons because of how we perceive the relationships with the ADs. I mean, I can imagine someone who's just more matter of fact saying, yeah, I'd like the Sprite. They get the Sprite. They pay 10, 11 for it. They sell it for 16 somewhere, immediately flip it for 16. And they say, oh, I can buy the Pepsi. I can throw in a couple of extra grand and get the Pepsi, or, trade it in on the gray. And so
sure,
that way it's a sure thing. Maybe you feel like you saved money. You get the Pepsi that you want, brand new, and you only pay a couple of grand more out of pocket, and that's way worth it, rather than the risk of waiting forever or never getting it from the AD.
Correct. And that was a scenario in my head was you can get the Sprite, sell it, right? And like OC said, pay a couple grand and go buy a brand new Pepsi.
Right.
Definitely probably gets you a Pepsi quicker. If you're not into that kind of shit though, have the adult conversation with your sales associate.
Good point. D Wood says, I think the loyalty discussion is predicated on wanting multiple watches over time from that 80s brand lineup. Yep, that certainly does help because they want to sell watches, as many watches as possible to the same person. And if you express interest in buying, that's one of the best things to do is say, hey, I'm thinking about buying 3 watches over the next 2 years, or I really like watches from these brands. That kind of and if you say, yeah, but I'd like this one first, at least they have in the back of their mind, okay, this guy wants to be loyal to us. So
yeah, I know people get tired of me talking about wrist size and all that, but I truly believe that if more brands made, in my opinion, more appropriately sized watches, I would be buying more from the AD. I'd have a Breitling or two. I'd have an Omega. Might even have a Tudor or two. But I'm a big believer on like buy what you like, don't compromise. And aesthetically, there are a lot of watches I like, but they're just too big for me. And I feel like my AD almost sees that as a cop out, an excuse not to buy a Calatrava or an excuse not to buy a Speedmaster. Because they see so many other people, and this is a real phenomenon. There's a lot of people buying watches that, sorry, I'm a little bit out of breath here. There's a lot of people buying watches that don't fit them, but they're doing it for spend history. They're doing it for brand journey status. And those people, they'll come out on top. I don't have the finances to do that, but I want to say I have the self-respect not to put myself in that position, to be known as the guy that just buys anything. Mm-hmm. But long story short, if Breitling had, 38.5 Navitimer, or if Omega re-released some, 321 that wasn't super hard to get, or if Tudor made a watch with Mercedes hands, or if Patek released a Calatrava that didn't have a lug-to-lug of 50 millimeters, I might actually want to buy these pieces. But to my AD's eyes, it's excuse after excuse about why I'm not buying things beyond, the Pateks that I want that actually fit me, or the Rolexes that I want that actually fit me. And it kind of puts me in a shitty position, but I'm not going to waver from it. I have to be honest to myself. It's a lot of money to just, appease your sales associates.
Yep. I want to say hi to Doc and his watch in the chat. Hey guys, what's going on? I want to thank Diego. I want to thank all the people in the chat for helping out Otto on his question regarding this GMT and should I get the Sprite? Should I wait for the Pepsi? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? So it's a really tough question. Just take it all in, take in all of the thoughts, all of the advice, and then do what you think is best. There's no one can tell you what makes
I have a question for you, OC. Your loyalty was tested in the past at, just before Watches and Wonders.
Was it? Yeah.
I'm not talking about. See, people might not know what I'm talking about.
In a big way, in a very big way.
You were, if anybody was supposed to get this watch, it was you, and it didn't happen. How did that affect your loyalty towards the AD?
I tend to be kind of sometimes impulsive and emotional when things like that happen. So like for those of you who don't know, like I was out of town when the call happened, when my watch came in. And it's funny because I was talking about this just last week with Mike and Dennis, the security guys at the AD, and they're like, hey, I remember. It's good because these guys know me. They're like, we remember when that watch came in, and we remember that it was supposed to go to you and that you weren't around, and even they thought it was fucked up. you know, they're like, hey, they're like, I can't believe they didn't hold it for you to come back. You know,
Y'all did King Midas dirty.
I can't believe it wasn't the end of the month. They could have held on to it. You're gonna be back in a few days. And like, so it was tough. It was tough for sure. I came back. I was pissed when I came back. So, but I'm over it. I'm over it. It's I really wanted that watch for Watches and Wonders to be able to have it and show people and all that stuff. But it is what it is. I'll get the platinum Daytonas are not easy to get anyway. So you have to like thank your lucky stars. I'm sure there are lots of people in the community that have the means and have the resources to be able to get a platinum Daytona, and they'd love to get one, but it's maybe not possible. So I feel just blessed that I'm in a position where someday soon it'll happen.
It's like first world problems. So you saying someday soon? Is your AD open 7 days a week?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you go to sleep every night. Don't lie.
I don't think about it at all.
Oh, bullshit. You go to sleep every night and you're like, tomorrow could be the day.
I do not do that. There was a time in November, December that I did do that. Meaning like I didn't go to sleep at night. Well, what I actually had to do was make sure that I had cash. Right.
Sure.
Like because that's not an insignificant amount of money. So I actually had to make sure to liquidate some things and have cash handy because I didn't want to have to go to the stock market, sell stuff and, sell stock,
right,
convert it, transfer it, wire it to here, do all that stuff. And there were times where I made sure that my credit card balances were clear, meaning like I didn't have I spent a lot of money on credit cards, like in a month. I can spend, between Mrs. OC and I, we can easily spend $10,000 a month on stuff.
Wow.
So like there were times, because if I'm traveling for work, I'm buying stuff. We're buying stuff for the house or whatever it is. It adds up. It adds up quickly.
Oh, so your discretionary spending for the year is $120,000. Congratulations.
It's more than that because I have my kids' tuition, car insurance. It's way more than that. Way more than So.
Well,
so yeah,
I tell you what, I was, after I was told, we'll get this for you. Every day was Christmas Eve, but the issue was my AD was closed on Sundays and Mondays. So, Friday night, I'm like, oh fuck, this could be the weekend. Saturday at 4 p.m., I was a little depressed because then I knew I had all day Sunday, all day Monday, no call. Like it sucks to know when like there are days that you will not get the call because they're closed when you're waiting for something. But it'll hit you when you least expect it. So maybe it's good that you're not Christmas Eve-ing it anymore. Like shit, you might get the call tomorrow.
Well, I know I won't get it because my SA is out of the country on vacation. So.
Oh shit.
And that's something that we had. I met her before she left. She's like, just want to let you know I'm going. She want to let you know I'm going on vacation. It's not coming in. Here's where I'm going to be. All that stuff. So.
My friend that got the 5990, literally a week before he got the call, we were having a conversation. And he's like. Verbatim, he's like, I'm about to say fuck this AD shit and just buy it. I'm like, buy what? He's like, the 5990. And I was like, where? He's like, I don't know, Corona 24 or some shit. And I was like, don't do that. I said, please don't do that. And he's like, I'm never going to get it. I was like, you don't know that, dude. Like, for all you know, you could get the call in a week. And literally a week later, he texts me a screenshot of like the text message. Hey, Steve Womack, are you still interested in the 5990? If so, we have one for you. And I just wrote, holy fuck, I'm on my way.
Come in.
Oh, yeah, let's go get lunch. Like, so you never know, man. When you're at your lowest, that's when you get the call. So we need to make sure you're at your lowest. What can we do to ensure you're at your lowest?
I don't think I have to be at my lowest. Like I was at my lowest right after that episode. So, and then by the way, another platinum Daytona came in and it didn't go to me.
Yes,
After that,
that's the one I was. That's the one I was asking. Where's your loyalty now?
Yeah, it was like, and they were transparent. It's like, oh well, the next one came in and it didn't go to you because the manager overruled me and we had to go to somebody else. You fucking pricks. But it's like it's not any individual's fault, But the thing was the week before I bought a diamond necklace,
Oof.
So it's like, wait, I'm doing all the things so that was like, listen, I spent $3,000 on a diamond necklace here. And then you're going to give it to somebody else, but it'll all work out in the end. So,
yeah,
I'm not buying jack shit. As a matter of fact, they offered me steel Daytona, and I said nope, it's platinum or nothing. So
yeah, I think I'm holding firm. Same thing. In my opinion, I got I don't know. Rules are rules, right? But then I see those rules getting broken. So it kind of stings. So I'm just going to look. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, life goes on. Not a big deal. So,
yep.
I'm not going to do anything drastic.
Chris Negroni reminds us. I'm going to put it to music. It's gonna be May.
No, it was. Let me tell you the song I was thinking of. Somebody wrote it in the chat.
Every little thing I do.
Brian Adams. I did it for you.
Oh yeah. Everything I do. Brian Adams.
Yeah. I did it for you.
Congratulations. It's going to be May Day, May 1st, pretty soon.
Is May Day when the Soviets march on Moscow?
No, I think it's just I don't know what it is. I don't want to. No politics, Diego. No politics.
Sorry. The Russians.
But AD politics is allowed. Mr. G says, should I buy a Breitling or Karl F. Bucher? If you could buy a Breitling, that would be incredible. If you can go to the Breitling website, pick one that you like, one that fits your wrist. Let me know which one it is, and I can have it there for you.
You brainwashed him
on the 30th.
Jesus.
No, you'll be a superstar if you actually buy one at that event, because it's going to make them look really, really good.
Are you gonna get them drunk like we got bondage drunk?
100%. Yeah. There's gonna be whiskey there. It's a whiskey tasting. So
that was one of the funniest stories of that.
That was very funny.
So for the people that don't know in the chat, Bondage and Discipline came to New York. We all got together. We were visiting ADs, and he saw Breitling that he just fell in love with. I think it was a new release, and he bought it. Right? He bought it. Yep. Like we all celebrated with champagne. It was awesome. Yep. The story afterwards was, did you guys see OC got Bondage drunk and then took him to his AD and convinced him to buy a shitter and made sure that he bought it through OC's sales associate, which I don't even think it was.
Nope. Well, actually it was probably.
But it was just like, it was the funniest thing. And Bondage played along with it too. He's like, yeah, I think I was roofied. I don't even remember buying the watch.
He plays along with it today too. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would get the purchase history, right?
Exactly.
So buy a Breitling. D Wood says his pivotal moment with an 100 miles away. He stopped in person. He said that he loved the Milgauss. They sent me away with a catalog, and I sent a handwritten thank you card. Well, that's very, very. That's a very nice thing to do. Got the call 6 months later. That's a very, what do you call it? Like when you open the car door. It's a very chivalrous.
Is this Evan G's troll account? D Wood with the handwritten letter.
Yeah, handwritten card written with an ink pen.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's really awesome.
Good story. Otto says Yeah, the Pepsi is the dream. Okay, go for your dream, bro. Go for the dream. Mr. Ghost is in the chat. Hello, Mr. Ghost. Tom Voss says, "Good stuff, OC. I have no money, but I can upvote." Hey, Tom Voss, be sure you subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the original OC channel. Subscribe, turn on notifications. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Hope you guys are liking the content. I want to thank Diego for being here. This is good stuff. Yes, it was the Platinum Daytona. It's coming, guys. It's coming. It's gonna be May.
Yeah, don't do that ever again. Are you okay? So, have you asked for baguettes, or are you going standard indices?
It doesn't matter. Either one that comes in.
Okay, doesn't matter. And what about the previous generation? You were very keen on baguettes because of the blue subdials, right?
I still like the previous one better. You know.
Interesting. Would you, let's just say your AD said, hey, we know you like the old one. Here's a new one. Go and sell it on 47th and pick up one of the old ones. We know it's what's in your heart. Would you do that?
Yeah, I could do. I absolutely do. I would do it. I would say, I'd come back and I'd pocket the 20 grand cash. And I'd come back with the old one and say, do you think, by the way, I would say I traded it. I would say I traded it with a friend. Yeah.
I want to see you do this.
By the way, and there are friends that I know that have it. So for example, Goldfinger, right?
Right.
Goldfinger may say like, you know what, OC, I really like the new one. And I say, great, come to New York and we'll switch.
Exactly.
So
come to New York and give me $9,999 twice.
Twice. Cash.
And buy me a cheeseburger at McDonald's for the balance.
I want to say hi to Hawkeye in the chat. Hawkeye is always has clever comments. So hello, Hawkeye. Clapton, Eric Clapton, that is, has the best watch collection of all the celebrity collectors. Thank you.
Hawkeye, you want to hear something gnarly?
Sure.
We have, the wife's put quite a few bird feeders in the backyard. Mm-hmm. And there's little birds and nests that she's been watching every day grow, and she heard their first songs and all this kind of shit. We're literally walking out the door to go to dinner, and I just hear her go, "Oh no!" and like runs to the window. I'm like, "What?" And I'm thinking like, did one of her bird feeders fall over? And she's like, "No." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I just saw a hawk go to the bird's nest and take the babies."
No.
I was like, damn. Like, brutal stuff.
Yeah.
Brutal stuff. So seeing Hawkeye's avatar really gave me PTSD. Look at this.
No. Oh, Goldfinger goes, I like the old version too, see. Goldfinger's in the chat.
Come on, Goldfinger.
Goldfinger, come on, man.
Don't be like that.
It was a subtle hint. Come on, man. We're buds.
Don't be like that.
You don't want that crappy old Daytona when you can trade for a brand spanking new one.
It's all scratched up. Come on.
This is all beat to hell. Those diamonds are lab grown anyway.
What watches does Goldfinger have besides that? I'm not too familiar with this collection.
That's a good question. I mean, the funny thing is about Goldfinger is he was an anonymous guy that reached out to me on Instagram, I believe, after some of the shows that we were doing, and we had mentioned Cellini Jewelers, or we mentioned like Lederer or Grunfeld or something like that, and he reached out to me and goes, "Hey, you know how I could get this watch, or I'm thinking about getting this watch." And I said, "Oh, no problem. I'll introduce you to Rosanna at Cellini Jewelers." And I think that's pretty much how it started. And then he called them, and then it went from there. And then he became more active in the chat, and he came to New York, right?
That's right. Yeah. Okay. So that was the first time you guys met him. That's awesome.
Yep. Yeah, very cool guy. Super cool guy. He's famous for buying the $500 hat.
Yeah, that Laura Piana, or whatever you call it.
Laura Piana hat. Super nice guy.
I've got a Cellini Jeweler story. Me, Negroni, and Buckley were walking by. We're like, "Oh shit, Cellini, you guys want to go in?" It's like, "Yeah, of course. Heard great things about this place." We opened the, it's double doored.
Right.
We opened the first door, let it close, opened the second, locked. And the security guard's looking at us, waving his hands. No, 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 get out of here. And we're like, oh, no, 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 we know Roseanne. He's like, gentlemen, please leave. And we're like, and they kind of open the door. And we're like, oh, no, we know Rosanna. We're friends with OC. And they go, we're limited to 5 customers at a time. And so I go, okay, no worries. Thank you for your time, gentlemanly sir. It was a pleasure. We shall return. You know what Negroni said?
I don't know.
He said, yo, fuck this place. Let's get the fuck out of here. I was like, Negroni, calm down.
It's because of Negroni. I mean, listen, the tattoos and stuff, like 3 young guys walking off the street. Let's be honest. 3 guys under 30 or close to 30.
Yeah.
You got beards. One of them is a big dude. One's got tattoos. Negroni was probably wearing one of those knit caps, like a hoodlum.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. He was probably wearing Crocs.
We all had milkshakes, and he threw his milkshake at the window as we were leaving. And I was like, dude, calm down.
I wouldn't have let you guys in. Like, oh shit, 3 lickaloos with no money. Yeah, that's what we need in our high-end store.
Lickaloos. But no, me and Bucky went after.
These guys aren't buying
Negroni, and we went the next day, and it was great.
These guys aren't buying 180,000 Ferdinand Berthoud watches.
Yeah, but in all sincerity, though, like none of that happened. Our reaction was, "Oh, okay, sorry," but they were very like, "Get out of here." We're like, "Oh, well, we know OC and he's good friends with Rosanna. Get out of here." I was like, "Okay."
Name dropping me isn't a way to get in these places.
Well, we tried.
It's a way to get kicked out faster.
Yeah, so if we burn your Chilean Jewelers spot, we apologize.
Yeah, the name dropping can build you credibility. Oh hey, like I know so and so. I think, oh okay.
Yeah.
And Dewey's in the chat. Hello, and Dewey. What's going on? Hey, we actually had 30 people watching this live stream. I can't believe that's like an all-time high. Plus, every single one of you has liked the stream. That's pretty good. Wow. That's a very, very positive thing. Thank you, everyone, for liking the stream. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to go for hours and hours and hours. I might go, depending on who jumps on the panel, I might go maybe 2 hours max.
Drop that link. Let's get some more people.
Let's drop the link. Let's get some good people on the show.
I will say this: pretty soon, your channel is going to be sold at Whole Foods because it's growing organically. That's my Daniel Katz impression. You didn't interrupt. Let's say hello to H. H, what's up?
Hey fellas, how are you?
Hey man.
You guys
what we got going on here? What is it? What is this? This is a BMW?
This is a BMW, and that is the Dark Side of the Moon.
Omega Dark Side of the Moon. And you sound Australian, mate.
Correct. I am Australian. I'll have to jump off the cam as I'm just driving, if that's okay, but happy to chat.
Oh, nice. Manual.
Thank you for jumping on. That. Yeah, you got a right-hand drive manual. Oh, and that's your car. It looks like Archie's car.
Archie. It's Archie.
That's an older pick, that one, but it's not Archie, no.
Nice.
Okay. It's cool.
So how does it work in Australia? Is the gas pedal on the left and the clutch is on the right?
No.
Clutch is still on the left. Accelerator's on the right. It's just on the other side of the car, Diego.
Yeah, your Bluetooth sucks, though. Your Bluetooth sucks. We can barely hear you.
Yeah, I'll try and connect another time, guys. I just wanted to say, good to see you guys have found another stream to jump on, and I'll try and jump on. I've got some good AD stories that might give some people some hope as well. Used to live in the US, moved back to Australia, had no relationships, and made a bit of progress with some AD. So happy to jump on and share them another time anyway.
Cool. Yeah, your audio sounds really good now. So if you want to stick around, feel free. Do you work with? Is it Hourglass the big AD there, or are there a whole bunch of different ADs that with whom you work?
There's a few. There's not many in Australia. So there's Watches of Switzerland. There's Hourglass. There's a couple of independents as well. I've dealt with all of them in the past, but I don't work with any of the major ones at this time. Just a small boutique independent. Mainly just due to purchase history of other brands. If you can deal with someone that just deals in Rolex and or something like that, and that's what you're after, I think that's a better than going down the path of having to, buy jewelry or buy a Cartier or whatever it might be to get into what you want to get into. And I don't know, a bit older now, I don't really care about those games, so try and do things the best way for me and get what I actually want. So,
from my
yeah, might have a couple of unboxings.
From my understanding, getting the Steel Sports Rolex in Australia is extremely difficult.
Super hard, Diego. Super hard. So we're not a big country. We're only whatever it is, 27 million people countrywide, but like it is a pretty affluent country. And there's a lot of there's a lot of people with a lot. I think there's more people with a lot of money than there might be in other countries. So steel sports is just really difficult, and because we are a small country, we don't get massive allocations of things. Even cars, that's like sports cars and stuff like that. We don't get a lot because of our population and how far away we are from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So yeah, steel sports is super hard.
Do you
at the moment.
do you think it's also a cultural thing? Like I don't know if hierarchy, the word I'm trying to say, hierarchy.
Hierarchy, yep.
Do you think it's a lot of that just from the the ties to the old British monarch and like the hierarchy of stature of people and all this stuff? Does that have something to do with it? Like, oh, I don't know your last name, but let's say you're a Stevens. They're like, oh, we would never sell a Pepsi to a Stevens, right? Like, is there some of that?
I don't think so anymore. Maybe in the past, but like we've got a lot of immigration and a lot of different demographics now. Like there's a massive Asian population now in Melbourne and Sydney, and a lot of those can be a lot of, and some of them are my mates. Like they're heavy hitters. They've got money. They can come in and influence. They can buy the cheaper stuff. So I just think it's the wealth. To be honest, I think it's just the demographic and some of the population, and just not enough demand to meet supply, which is probably no different to New York or LA. I wouldn't think. Probably be very similar.
Yep.
Where in the United States did you used to live?
Near Irvine, California, Orange County.
Nice. I know the area very well.
Used to work over there, but came back before COVID. So I had some pieces from ADs, in South Coast Plaza, that sort of stuff. So started the journey there, and but came back to Australia, and obviously we had COVID that happened, and everything went bananas in terms of being able to buy anything at all. Had to sort of start from scratch. So a little bit difficult. It helped you had some pieces, I think, but very difficult starting off a relationship from scratch at the moment, I think.
Did you made significant progress though in the United States? Like, what are some of the pieces that you were able to pick up before you went back?
Yeah, so I've got a Batgirl, I've got a 41 mil datejust, and that's it. That's all I managed to get in the US. I've probably done better since I've come back to Australia.
That's good.
Since then.
And then what are some of the pieces that you've picked up since then? What, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, sure. So I actually went into the AD. I hadn't through COVID. I just didn't have interest. Started finding the stream. Started to get back interested into timepieces, and basically went to the AD more for my wife's 40th birthday present, actually. So I went in to see an AD about a datejust. She was looking for a 31 mil datejust. We had a chat. So I had initial conversation. Talked to them about what I had. This would have been probably in November. And they said, "Look, are you looking for anything else? Is there anything that you're looking for?" I'm after a black stainless steel Daytona. So I mentioned that. I said, "Look, appreciate it's going to be difficult, but that's one of the pieces I'd like to get on the list for." And so we had that chat, left it at that. They said, look, we'll work on the date just and come back to you. I got a call about 2 months later offering me the new 12.615, so the new rose gold Daytona black dial. If I wanted it, I could take it on Oysterflex. So that was actually my first purchase from the AD in Australia.
Nice.
And that was in January. So and then we've since picked up the datejust for my wife. And they are now working on a couple of other pieces for us as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
That's a win-win because they upsold you from a much harder to get steel Daytona to something that's far more expensive that they have a harder time selling, but you feel like you still got a great piece. And
Exactly.
it worked out for that's their job, is to sell you something way more expensive, right? Why would they sell you something for 15,000 and super hard, very highly desirable when they can sell you something for 30?
Exactly. And I wouldn't take anything I didn't want, to be honest, but I actually, do like the Oysterflex Daytonas, and I, went in, tried it on, really liked it, and sort of said, yeah, you know what, if we need to get the relationship underway, probably no better way than at least a precious metal Daytona. And I think I will hopefully grab the black Daytona this year, or maybe next. We'll see how we go. But I'll keep you guys posted.
Are you purely a Rolex guy?
No, so I've got a couple of Omegas. I've got a Tudor as well. So I've got a couple of different pieces that I've sort of collected along the way. A couple of Seikos that everyone starts with.
Yeah, you showed us the dark side of the moon, which is really cool, and not something that is very well known, or it's not something that's super common. So
has there been one on the channels before? I don't know if there has been. I haven't seen one on the channels.
Sure. Is there a particular reason why you were drawn to that one?
Just I just like the manual wind. I like the fact it was ceramic. It was something a little bit different to every other Speedmaster out there, and I just wanted something different to the standard Speedmaster. So it just caught my eye.
Yeah, well, thanks for jumping on. It's great to have new people hop on these panels, and I hope you guys, everyone out there, is feeling like a renewed sense of camaraderie and appreciation for the hobby and appreciation for all you guys out there and the support and I know it's cliche, but the community, like people getting together and really talking about watches and enjoying their passion and celebrating the great people that we have. We're really, really lucky to have so many good people watching these streams and contributing to the chat, and H is jumping on the panel to share. I think this is what it's all about. And I hope you guys are feeling that positivity out there.
Yeah, and thanks for running the streams, OC, and the other guys. They've been really good, and I think it's certainly a lot easier to jump on now. Post what's happening, I think, and people, like myself, probably feel a bit more comfortable doing so. So look forward to jumping on again. I've got to run. I'm just running late for a meeting, but I'll see you guys again soon.
Thank you so much, H, for jumping on. H from Australia. Very cool. Thank you, man. Well, that was a good surprise. I got to tell you, that was really, really fun. And there's no better validation than what you just heard, right, from H's own words. Like, people are more comfortable now. People are feeling better about what's going on. That's certainly how. So I'm not gonna speak for anybody else, but that's how I feel. So there you go. So listen, guys, great show. I'll drop the link one last time. Let's see if someone wants to jump on. This is usually where like Mathis jumps in and starts hijacks the stream and plays some videos or whatever. That's totally cool. Or maybe I'll just play a video on the way out. What do you think? I'll play a video and you guys can relax and check out this video. And have an unbelievably good night. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, this one. This one's a pretty good one. Yeah, let's do this one. All right. Peace out, guys. Have an amazing night.
You know, sometimes this life can get rough. You get knocked down, but you gotta get up. Keep going. I'd have been knocked down 1,000 times. Yeah, I traveled around 1,000 miles. Feeling so tired, but you know I can't stop now. Came way too far, won't throw in the towel. It ain't looking real good, but I won't give up. Pac said that I gotta keep my head up, so I ain't going nowhere. Yeah, I'm standing right here. Demons all around, but I ain't got no fear. They kick me around, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going in rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. In the fire now, but I won't be burned. I was waiting for this, and now it's my turn. Sweat on my face, blood in my eyes. Been underground, now I aim for the sky. Don't quit now, you can last longer. All these wounds only making you stronger. Don't give up now, yeah, you gotta climb. But we give it your all until the end, until the end of time.
We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the end of time. Till the end of time.
Yeah. Been through a whole lot, but we overcome. Enemies in our face, but we ain't gon' run. Never drift off course, always stay on mission. Won't slow us down, cause we way too driven. Yeah, we put in these 10,000 hours. You won't stop us, cause we got the power. Whole world is watching, and I hope they ready. From here on out, we are legendary. You can kick me around, but I won't stay down. I run this town, ain't backing down. We going in rounds. Yeah, the winds will blow, but these roots too deep. I'm on my feet, the underdog, and I won't be beat. Turn the lights up now, welcome to the show. I ain't never gonna stop, this is all I know. My eyes on the prize, until I die. I'm gonna rise, level up to the skies. Yeah, we here now, we were chosen. All the pain brought us through this moment. Watch everything we work for fall in line. We gon' give it our all until the end, until the end of time.
We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the end of time. Till the end of time.
We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Until the end of time. We ain't going nowhere. We'll be standing right here until the end of time. Till the end of time.
Until the end of time. Till the end of time. Until the